Hey there, V-Team. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday for a very special Up to Speed Live. I know you were just with us on Monday with the kickoff, and Hans was as well. So let's get right to Hans. Hans, it feels, it was just this week we were at the kickoff together, but I understand you wanted to be with us. You thought it was important for you to be on today. Tell us what's on your mind.
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, I think that first of all, I wanted to come back on Up to Speed today to speak to the V-teamers about the situation that unfolded yesterday. I think we all followed that carefully and also felt really sad about what's happening. And I would like to start by talking about how we responded. I mean, safety and health is the most important for the V-teamers. That's the number one priority. We have talked about it all year, and if it's the COVID or impact that we have or the safety and health in yesterday's situation, when we learned about this possible riots were happening, we alerted proactively all our employees. And we closed down our stores, so all the V-teamers in the DC areas counted for their healthy and safe, which was important for our emergency team to see it. We also need to acknowledge that our network team was working 24/7 to see that communication was working, and we had journalists from Verizon Media Group covering it. So that was happening, but we all the time, our global emergency operations center was of course covering and following it. But first of all, we were very thoughtful about the health and safety of our employees and the V-teamers. And today we're back. I mean, the stores are open and we're back. So that's how we're dealing with it, and we are very, very following this very closely, of course. And talking what's happening about yesterday, I think that it's clear that we condemn any type of senseless violence and rioting that we saw yesterday. It's just unacceptable, and I think that's nothing that we are supportive of. But we support, of course, peaceful demonstrations. That's part of a democracy. But what we saw yesterday, it's not okay, and I think it's important for us to say that. And I think that the country and many places on earth are grappling with the large challenges and issues at the currently, and that happens here in the US, of course, with the COVID and the economic downturn and the things we saw yesterday. And of course, people have different opinions and priorities and etc. I think that for us, coming back as V-teamers, we have our core value in diversity, and I wanted to just come back to that. I mean, diversity of thoughts, minds, experiences are important for success of our company, and that we respect each other in times like this. For us, this is important to stress in all these times, but also be very clear that we condemn and we don't accept the way we saw things happening yesterday. That's not how democracies work. So. But it comes back to our core values. That's what I wanted to come back to, how we work. This is how we've been working all the year. We have been into this challenge for more than soon a year. We have our priorities. The executive team is meeting. We're discussing the priorities. They're very clear. Number one, safety and health for our employees. Then seeing that our networks are up. That is so important. The communication continues. And then on top of that, be very clear that we are doing the right thing in society, and ultimately our shareholders are going to benefit for that with the long-term decisions we're taking in these multiple crises and events that are happening. And so for me, it was important to come on today and Up to Speed. I usually are only invited once a week, but I thought, given what happened yesterday, I just wanted to say how this is seen by management and the leadership of the company, and how we need to go forward with this, bring the purpose with us, bring our core values, continue to respect each other. Diversity of mind and thoughts are important for our success, but clearly not accepting the ways and the things we saw yesterday. So that's, Andy, is a little bit where we are, and we will continue to monitor and have a clear and transparent communication with all the V-teamers, what's happening, and we have our global emergency center up running. Christy and team are, of course, covering this as they're covering all other challenges that we have at the same time. And I just need to remind you, in many places on Earth and here in the US, we have a resurge of the COVID-19. We just need to be careful, guys. This is so brutal, you know. We see a light in the tunnel with the vaccine, but it's not here yet. Don't relax. Just follow the procedures and processes that we have defined. See that you take care of yourself. See that you are respecting your colleagues, your friends, your families, and neighbors, and society at large in these times. Doing all the precautions that is demanded upon you. So I think that sums it all up. A little bit tough situation, given coming out from Monday's kickoff with all now we go. This is happening, but you know, this is what our organization is set up for. We should be able to handle multiple challenges at the same time, and it all boils down to what we stand for, who we are, and how we do it. And that has not changed. We continue with that, and that's going to be the success for us, and that's going to be success for us individually and as a company.
Such a powerful message for all of us to remember. And Hans, on behalf of the entire V team, thank you not only for your letter last night, but for this message today, and really, you know, making sure that we continue to think about all of our stakeholders, which includes society. And it's one of the reasons why we need to really think about that. And I know that people have thought a lot about, you know, what this means for their lives, and their children are asking questions about what they saw yesterday. But in many ways, we have to understand that we are together, and that we can continue moving forward together. So with that in mind, you know, I want to make sure, number one, Hans, you are invited anytime, not just once a week. But as we as we turn towards the business and moving forward, I understand, you know, we have some breaking news on 5G with home and mobile cities. Tell us a little bit more about what 5G access for everyone means, and what can you tell us about this breaking news?
Yeah, we have some breaking news, and I just want to comment a little bit what you said, just finalizing on, because I think that many of us, we get very emotional in these times, and I get emotional because it's a situation where we've never seen before. I mean, so I get emotional, but again, I'm trying to come back to what we stand for and what we do. And I got a lot of feedback from V-teamers the last 24 hours, mainly supporting what we're doing and how we're doing it. And that's very helpful for us in times of uncertainty and challenges. But we know where we're going, and we know what we should do. So, yeah, that was a summary of that. But pivoting over a little bit to we're announcing today, hey, our network team is not standing still. You know, they continue to work tirelessly, and the 5G home that we had 10 cities announced last year. They're kicking off this year by opening up several new markets, all the way from, I need to read because they're releasing so many markets: Arlington, Miami, Anaheim, Phoenix, San Francisco, St. Louis are going to be 5G home cities. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities more that we announced today, and that will go live 14th of January. So we just continue to build and use the multi-purpose network that we're building, the Verizon Intelligent in the Edge network that we build these growth vectors on, and one of them is, of course, the 5G home. We're also going to soon announce more cities on ultra-wideband: Colorado Springs, Columbia, and Knoxville. So we're adding to the plus 60 cities we have, continue with that, as well as that you might have seen at the end of the year, we now have reached on our nationwide 5G 230 million population and 2,700 cities. So a lot of work. And I just want to pivot to another thing which is dear to our heart of all of us. We also announced Fios Forward earlier this week, I think, which is our way of seeing how we can support broadband for underserved communities with a new offering, which I think the team has brought forward for everything from remote learning to being connected, work from home for families that have a challenging times right now. So a really good offering that we have brought forward. So I think we continue on our purpose to connect, create the networks that connect the world, and seeing that we are bringing our purpose forward early in the year. As I asked in the kickoff, we need to start now. And there you hear a lot of the announcements that will come out later today that the team is continuing with that. So great news on that side. We continue to execute. And this is the balance we need to have. We have such a responsibility as a company to run this as a business as usual. At the same time, we have to grieve and feel sad about situation happening. That balance is what I live with every day and what all the V teamers live with every day. And we just need to manage that because this is challenging times in our society. We have a huge responsibility in that time to continue to do the right things.
And Hans, it's interesting because that balance is so key to our success. We've talked about this before, the ambition to succeed and the humility to know that it's not all in our control. And it's, to watch you really in real time balance that for us and express your heart and your vulnerability and celebrate our wins is truly a wonderful and inspiring thing that we can all, I'm sure we're all dealing with in terms of balancing. So thank you for that. And so again, all that information, we just broke news on 5G. As Hans mentioned, there's a ton of cities there. You will see announcements coming out on VZ Web and on the web as well. And hopefully, obviously our media partners will be very interested in making sure that they spread the news on that. With that in mind, obviously, this is the whole point here is to continue connecting and unifying not only ourselves, but our customers. And with that in mind, you are getting ready for CES, another place where our message can really bring unification to the forefront there. So I know that there's a lot of moving parts for CES next week, but and it's going to be virtual. But anything as the keynote speaker that we can expect from you, Hans?
Oh, yeah. This is my daily life. I'm bounced between different things. And of course, we're very proud to be the opening keynote speaker at the largest consumer show the world. So that's going to happen in the beginning of next week. It's going to be virtual. I'm not allowed to tell you much what's going to happen, but I can tell you it's going to be a lot about 5G.
I had to ask,
for sure.
I had to pry.
Yeah. If you have been guessing, I think that. So it's going to be a 5G. Of course, we're going to have partners. I'm going to continue the journey that we have started, talking about 5G, what we're doing, what partners we have, the potential of 5G. So I'm gearing up for that right now, which is a fairly big undertaking, but I have good support as usual from my team. So I don't fail. So usually the team is doing all the hard work. I just delivering some messages. So no, we're excited for that, and hopefully many of you will tune into that and see what we have to say about 5G and with all our partners.
So Monday will be must-watch for CES, and of course we'll recap that as well on Up to Speed. But also on Monday, as Hans mentioned, COVID is still something that should be on the forefront of our minds. So Christy will join us live Monday at noon for all of that. And as we wrap things up here with Hans, a quick mention. Monday, January 18th, it marks Martin Luther King Jr. Day, of course. It's a national day of service in the U.S. And on Monday's episode, live at noon, Christy will highlight some of the volunteer opportunities as well that are available through our volunteer portal, and we'll give a sneak peek of how we'll be commemorating the holiday as a V team throughout next week. So, with that in mind, as we turn to Hans for some final thoughts here, I have to mention I saw just about everyone on the kickoff call wearing their Citizen Verizon shirt, and I was kicking myself because I was like, I didn't have my shirt on. Having it on today, though, Hans, it kind of brings on a new meaning. And I know this is about Citizen Verizon and how we're going to help move the world forward. But you think about what happened yesterday. You think about the balancing that you mentioned, Hans, and the balancing the emotions with what we need to do to continue succeeding here, and truly, like, as a citizen, not just of Verizon, but of the country and the world, there's just so much more meaning behind our brand and who we are. So as we turn to you for some final thoughts, what's on your mind, and what should be our lasting impression, not only of yesterday, but again, another reminder of 2021 and the kickoff message we had on Monday?
Thank you, Andy. I think you're describing this very well. I mean, we have a very serious situation. As I said, sensitive, you get emotional. At the same time, you need to be professional, run the company moving forward. And I think that many of us feels that situation right now. It might be around the COVID, it could be friends being sick, or at the same time running and just continuing and seeing that we're delivering our service, doing our job, either at Verizon or maybe for friends or family, whatever it is. It is a unique situation. It's few times in my life that I've been having that balance as I had today. I mean, if I would look to my day, of course, the seriousness of the situation happening in DC yesterday, seeing that we're safe and healthy, connecting that to what we're doing, telling what we really stand for at the same time, seeing that we're deploying 5G and the new cities and running. It's a balance, but this is really what the four stakeholder management is all about, that we should be able to manage society, the employee, the V-teamers, the shareholders, and our customers at the same time. And it's probably never been harder than ever to actually make this balance right. But it's never been better or more correct to actually have four stakeholders, that we actually think about them all four every time we take a decision. Is this positively long-term impacting for that stakeholder if I take a decision for one stakeholder? And that's what's going through my mind all the time, that if we move all four stakeholders forward and do positive the decision that have a long-term impact, we are doing the right thing for this company, for our society, for the world, for our customers, for our shareholders, for our V-teamers, for everyone. And I think that that's what's driving me forward, even though there are tough moments. There are moments that this feels really, really tough. And you just want to focus on one thing and say, we need to solve this and we need to help with this. That will be it will not be the right way for us. We should be V-teamers. We should be able to actually manage that. And I only have a lot of compassion for all the V-teamers, what they're going through. And this is not an easy situation for no one. So I thank you all. And I ask all the V-teamers to continue to stay safe and healthy. I told you about all the rules and regulations. I'm not sure how many times I can do it. You're probably tired of me. But that's part of it. That repeat. And ending up on business. We have a year with it's sort of unparalleled with challenges, but also with opportunities. We have the fundamentals in our structure, in our people, in our strategy to execute for growth. And I'm excited for that. At the same time as I feel the sensitivity and the emotions around everything else happening around us. And that's what we all need to manage. And that's why we need to communicate with people around us, colleagues, family, friends. It's an unprecedented situation where we are not in the office and meeting our colleagues. So please continue to have that communication, that relation, and that connectivity with everyone around you to see that you continue to stay strong through this. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Hans, and thank you for strengthening those connective tissues all among us. And challenge accepted as we balance, not only the emotions of yesterday and really the entire year of 2020 with our goals for 2021. So with that, thank you again for joining us, Hans, and thank you to our viewers. Once again, we'll be back on Up to Speed tomorrow with Diana Alviar for a news roundup, and then on Monday we'll be with Christy as well. But thank you again, and folks, a quick reminder: if you are struggling, if what you're watching and what you're processing is tough, please know that we have EAP and we have so many different ways that we can find that help, and part of it is asking for it, but also, V Team, if you have colleagues around you that you feel could use a shoulder, please reach out. And as Hans mentioned, we have to stay connected here. So with that, thank you for connecting with us today. Wishing you a peaceful and joyful week. And of course, I still believe 2021, we're going to do this. We're going to grow, and we're going to grow with compassion. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, you're up to speed.